Brian Grognard here with part 3 of my making a game session up from scratch. It's Wednesday, and after perusing Eureka last night for my 50 Fathoms game, I actually found something I could use in here. It's a variation basically of a distressed village being attacked by, I said goblins, but since there's no demi-humans or humanoids on this in this world, it'll probably be bandits. The classic Magnificent Seven type scenario, which I am going to tweak a bit, and I'm going to add another little element that I like to add in here, mistaken identity, one of my favorite ones. Basically, I take a player character who happens to look just like some famous or infamous person and just go from there. So that's a good mix. And what I did was I took Eureka and I photocopied the page and I put it in my GM book, if you can see that. That's awful light. Anyway, I got a GM book here. Almost saw it there. And I pasted the section. I cut it out and pasted the section, the photocopied section, right into the book, and then I could write down what I want to change, on the bottom here. So I just do that, and that's what I'll be doing today. I'll be reading that, reading through it, changing what I want, and then after that, it's more mechanics, because I know I'm going to need NPCs, I'm going to need locations, and maybe a few monsters. So, and all of this in a Savage Worlds 50 Fathoms game. Oh boy. I'm also going to be thinking about what happens with the other players while this is going on. I haven't quite chose the player who's going to be mistaken for, but I usually leave that pretty flexible due to the fact that usually, you know how it is when you plan something around one character for a session and the guy goes, oh, I can't be there for one reason or another. And so basically, like anything else, I try to make it modular and flexible, saying, okay, not that character, it'll be this guy who did show up, and we'll just go with that. And usually I like to pick the one person who hasn't had much to do in the game, whether by design or the way he wants it, or just being overlooked, because there's always going to be at least one player that's overlooked in the game. No, even in the people, even in the 7 or 8 people that I GM for, that are pretty vocal and rowdy and things like that, there's always one person, and they're usually the voice of reason most of the time, if they're not being like, I just don't want to sit here and just like hit stuff, play my character. Those people you got to draw out, but there's always going to be one person who's going, guys, that's a really great plan, but maybe we ought to think about this, So I usually pick somebody like that. If I pick the person who doesn't want to do anything, I got to draw them out, but I got to do it a different way. If you just slap this on them, they're just going to go and just, they'll close up. They'll just close up and not want to do anything. They're not going to do it. So I like to do it with somebody who's kind of like in the back, not really in the background, but he doesn't take the initiative all the time. Although he'll do his part in whatever the story calls for in the battle or whatever. But, somebody who's kind of like the Lancer, as they call them, the second guy, the hero's best friend, or whatever you want to call him. But I've always loved the mistaken identity theme. And if my players are out there and watching this, don't forget what I said, because what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep these videos vague enough at this point so I don't give everything away. I still want to show you the process, but I don't want like some of my characters to go, oh, okay, I know it's coming. Okay, fine. Even me, if I was a player, I wouldn't want to see it, because I know I can play through it, but it's more fun if I don't know what's going on. It really is. I've played games where I've played multiple sessions. I mean, North Texas, it's going to be the 5th time I'm going to be going through B1 this year. But the guy changes it up, and two, it just, it's nicer if you don't know. Anyway, that's what I got going right now. We'll see you next time, and I'll have more progress on this. So until next time, bye.